Hello and welcome back to Attempting to Play. If you're watching this, you probably just came back from our amazing Bioshock series, and today we're going to start the amazing Metal Gear 3. That's right, Metal Gear Solid 3, the very first game in the Metal Gear chronology.
It's probably going to be really effing loud.
Oh,
It's going to be so loud.
it's going to be epic. We are recording in a different studio this time. It sounds perfectly fine, Kevin. Anyway, today we got ourselves 6 people. That's a lot.
Quite a few people.
Usually we're up to 5 or 4, but we got 6 commentators for you all. I hope it doesn't get too insane.
We're not going to be commentating for the first episode. It's just going to be us watching a cutscene.
Yes, they know. They have never played any Metal Gear
Movie
Solid
Simulator
game before.
1964.
They have never played a Metal Gear Solid game.
Nope.
So this is completely new to them, but I have told them that it's mostly cutscenes. Yeah. So without further ado, Josh.
Okay. 1964. Virtuous Mission and Operation Snake Eater. The origin of the Metal Gear series begins in 1964 at the height of the Cold War. Naked Snake, the man who would later become the legendary soldier known as Big Boss, heads into Soviet territory to help the scientist Sokolov defect to the west. However, the mission ends in failure when Snake's men, a female soldier known as the Boss, unexpectedly defects to the Soviet Union. The fate of the world hanging in the balance, Snake is forced to question the true meaning of loyalty as he embarks on a lone mission to kill his former mentor.
I didn't realize there'd be a fucking spoiler in it because I never read it.
Nice.
Oops!
I don't know what's happening, so whatever.
All right, let's start the game. I love this intro.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill, I'm searching and I'm melting to you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme.
That's totally James Bond inspired.
Yes.
That's awesome.
You know what's funny? If you move the analog sticks, it actually fucks with the titles. That's what I heard.
Seriously?
Whoa!
Oh my god, that's so cool.
That's cool. Hey, did you guys know it was written by Hideo Kojima?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Telling us.
My friend Matt and I had this drinking game where it's like every time you see Hideo Kojima's name, you take a drink. He plugs himself like 20 times.
Fuck. Let me just suck myself off.
Someday,
You're going crazy
You having fun
with
there, Josh?
Yes.
Hey,
I'm
Hideo
going crazy with
Kojima.
this house.
Whoa!
on a tree frog, it's ordeal that trial to survive. For we see no
It's like,
life, not for honor, but for you.
Oh.
Harry Gregson Williams did the music?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Do we want light off? Are you
Yeah.
controlling the snake as well, or?
No, just the words. This is the greatest. So readable.
Wish I could read. Hideo
Oh,
Kojima.
yeah, Kojima. The one they bring.
Oh.
Hideo Kojima again.
The title's like a fly trying to find its way out of your room, right?
Yeah.
Except this time it actually escapes.
Dude, this is so great.
I know,
This
right?
is such an homage to James Bond. It's awesome.
Well, now that your expectations have skyrocketed,
Can't wait for them to get destroyed.
You always start with the low so you'll never be disappointed.
oh, Josh, another secret, you can actually fuck menu screen too by pressing the R2 and L2 buttons.
That was like a really big thing for YouTubers
there you
when
go.
playing Mortal Kombat.
I don't know what these mean.
You guys remember that?
Well, pick the option that is true to you, Josh.
F-bombs, guys.
I like Metal Gear Solid.
I'm playing Metal Gear Solid for the first time.
Wait, are these difficulties?
Only Fug and
No.
Frick
Oh, okay.
from now on.
Which one did you pick?
Guys, you can only say
I'm playing
fuck.
for the first time.
Okay,
Fug
good.
and Frick.
If you
Okay,
pick the
European
easy?
Extreme.
oh god,
European Extreme?
What does that even mean?
it says in the bottom.
Game ends when being seen by an enemy.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it's stealth mode.
I thought European Extreme meant their enemy wears banana hammocks.
Let's go normal for now. I
Hell
guess.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go
For
normal.
non-action players.
We're
for
not
beginners.
pussies. Let's go normal.
I wish it was like the Doom difficult or the Wolfenstein difficulties.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can I play, Daddy?
Yeah,
Okay.
the beginning where it asked you what version you like, it actually gives you specific.
Control schemes.
No, it'll give you like little hidden bonuses.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
The Cold War never ended.
You can make a drinking game out of the word Konami itself, too.
Konami and
Hey, Hideo
Kojima.
Kojima again.
Hideo Kojima.
I like Kojima, but I feel like they give him a little too much credit. He can do no wrong.
Death
Stranding. Stranding. There's the Kojima symbol on the fucking plane.
Take a drink.
Flying over Pakistan. Altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off. Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Again.
Take the swig.
He's not again.
I mean, if I was proud of something I made, I'd put my name all over it.
Got that cigar. Connect oxygen hose to interior connector.
No, Shigori's biased.
Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask. Depressurization complete. Checking oxygen supply. 6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch. Sunrise. Temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
It's like John Woo directed a James Bond movie.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Is that the pigeon guy or the masked guy?
That's the pigeon guy.
That's,
Yeah.
The world's first Halo jump? Oh.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green. Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4,
This game likes to rewrite history a little bit.
1.
Yeah.
Since fly.
That's not what you want to do at all. He's
What
gonna
are you
be ripped
doing?
apart.
Spins out of control, dies.
He can't get out of the camera. It's always there.
Splat.
He's back again.
Another drink.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission.
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training army.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok.
Bless you.
Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the West. We used a mole
real
to get the
footage?
family out first
Yeah, they use
and
a lot of
succeeded in
stock
sneaking
footage.
Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side.
Oh no, looks a lot like the
Then
DMZ
what?
and me.
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selino Yas, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. Remembering stuff while I was Halo jumping.
Here's 10 minutes of exposition while you Halo jump.
Remembering the mission brief.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino Yask in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
Okay.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
So don't they still use that?
Yes. It's a stacked what? Yeah.
Yeah.
The shock will be less than during a
Called a Skyhook in The Dark Knight.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
5 too.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm
They did in Battlefield 4.
2 40mm machine guns.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
That must not feel good to get snagged by a plane that's moving, hundreds of miles per hour.
Oh God, I would imagine.
They probably
not.
slowed down, but yeah.
No, but like, slow down.
Yeah.
They're still going like a couple hundred miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're
I think
fine.
they have this. I think it's special straps
Oh.
that when they snap, that
There goes your bag.
Superhero landing. Superhero landing.
Get out of that position now.
You can stand
Oh
up.
God, he's in shock.
my bones.
My bones.
You notice that his mask says Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater on it?
Do you think they wouldn't want people to know that you're from there right now if you're going undercover like that?
Unmarked gear, you mean?
Yeah, and unmarked guns and everything. Essentially no roof.
Yeah, if you
What
want
about
to
the
point
game-
out, if
what
you want
about-
to point out plot holes, there's a ton of them.
What about the game's title on the...
Are we leaving a copy of the game in the jungle for them? Maybe they'll have
If you
fun
press
later.
circle when those names pop up, it'll show their Japanese equivalent and the motion capture actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Circle?
Yeah.
Skips the cutscene.
Oh, God. Yeah.
trying to sneak around.
Do you copy? You're
Not
already in
yet.
enemy
Not
territory.
yet.
Somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear?
No.
This kind of infiltration is the
I'm
Fox.
leaving a copy of this game for them. Maybe they'll have fun and
Weapons and
we'll get
equipment
distracted.
here on site.
Don't mind all the gear you
Food is
dropped off.
completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No. There's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see.
Oh,
Well,
I thought he just hung
go
up.
back and get it. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button.
Oh, yes.
Monitor progress over the radio.
Yes, the action button,
Can't
of
risk
course.
violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My
This is
frequency
Sly Cooper all over again.
0.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake. Go get your
For
backpack.
where it's like, press this exact button.
Yeah. Press square
That's
to,
what
to talk to me.
That's a pet peeve in gaming for me. When the
When they're
voice
self-aware.
when the voice actors are
Uh-oh.
Jump. And press the circle button.
I think the send function button is the select button, and the action button is either X or triangle. Might be triangle. You getting a warm up in or what? In place?
X is crouch.
You can't actually crouch walk. You can crawl and walk. That's about it.
First person.
Inverted.
Jump right off the cliff. That's the way you need to go. Oh yeah, that'll.
Ooh,
Use your
nice.
parachute. Oh, yeah. They give you a fake death. They give you a cyanide capsule too.
Seriously?
Yes, it's a fake death pill, and you can take the revival pill to wake up.
Wait, if you're already asleep, how are you supposed to take the revival pill to wake?
It's in your tooth, so you use your tongue to open. it.
But
It's
if
a-
you're
it's-
asleep,
you're
how
not
are you
a-
going to be able to use your tongue?
You're not asleep. It's just like a fake death, so you can move your tongue.
Just slows your heart rate down.
Yeah.
Action roll.
Sneak.
Hey, you can climb that tree.
Let me just scratch my ass on the back of the stream.
You can always remember, Josh. You can always call the Colonel for or Major Tom for help.
What's the action button?
Sometimes it's really funny if you're stuck on something. He's like, "What the hell?"
airdrop me a pizza?
Please. It has to be Pizza Hut.
Hungry.
Pizza Hut and a liter of Coke. Please.
You get your
Maybe-
$5 hot bread and you like
I don't
it.
know what's going on.
Breadsticks if
Climb
they
the
have
tree.
it.
Press the action button. God damn it. Hey, you remember that part where you say he only has a couple hours?
It's just like
Get
Dead
a hustle
Rising
up.
again.
I don't see no timer.
You gotta hustle up.
If there's no timer, it doesn't exist.
Press triangle. There you go.
There's the backpack.
On that small amount of gameplay, let's have another 20-minute cutscene.
Oh my god.